Imagine 5 minds, each born in a different century, in different corners of the world. One wrote more equations than anyone in history, blind in one eye, unstoppable. Another mapped the stars, then rewrote the language of probability. A third found patterns in the chaos of curved surfaces, with nothing but a pen and relentless curiosity. Then came the quiet one, who whispered truths that broke mathematics apart. And finally, the man who solved a 350-year-old mystery, alone, in secret. This is not a timeline. This is not a lecture. This is beautiful chaos. Mathematics at its most human. Before he was 10, he was studying calculus. By 13, he'd surpassed his teachers. By 20, he was solving problems that had haunted mathematicians for centuries. A son of a preacher, a mind born from silence. He didn't chase fame, he chased order. Euler calculated with an intensity that seemed almost inhuman. He published hundreds of papers, often dictating from memory, even after losing his sight. He pioneered fields before they had names. Topology, complex analysis, mechanics, number theory. He wasn't just ahead of his time, he was creating time for others to catch up. Euler's identity, an equation so elegant it feels whispered from the universe itself. 5 constants, E, I, pi, 1 and 0. One equation, no approximation, no error, just inevitability. This wasn't just mathematics, this was a glimpse of the divine, blind, exiled, tired, but still writing. At his peak, he produced one mathematical paper every week for over 20 years. He died surrounded not by gold, but by ideas. Ideas that would outlive empires. Euler didn't just explore mathematics. He built roads through it and left the rest of us to follow. But what if the world could be predicted, every moment, every atom, every heartbeat? To Laplace, the universe wasn't chaos. It was a mechanism, immense, perfect, divine in logic. Where others saw mystery, he saw law. Where others wondered, he calculated. He charted the heavens with ink and intellect, mapped gravity, probability and tides, using only mathematics and his mind. In Laplace's world, cause led to effect. Without exception, if you knew all the forces, you could know the future. Not faith, not fate, just physics. He imagined a being, an intelligence so vast it could know the position and momentum of every particle in the universe. To this entity, past and future would unfold like pages in a book already written. We now call it Laplace's demon. When Napoleon asked why his book contained no mention of God, Laplace replied, "I had no need of that hypothesis." It wasn't arrogance, it was belief in the sufficiency of reason. He replaced divine will with differential equations. Laplace dreamed of a universe without uncertainty, a place where everything could be predicted given enough knowledge. But what happens when certainty cracks? She grew up where creativity had to whisper, but numbers gave her a voice. Not straight lines, not formulas on rails. Maryam saw mathematics as movement, alive, fluid, free. She didn't memorize formulas. She visualized worlds, surfaces that curled back on themselves, curves that never repeated, but never ended. She chased the hidden paths of geometry, mapping the unmappable. Maryam studied how shapes stretch, twist and bleed into each other. She listened for the rhythm of space and found that chaos has a structure. Her work linked geometry, topology and dynamics, fields once thought separate, into a single vision. In 2014, she became the first woman and first Iranian to win the Fields Medal, mathematics' highest honor. but she never called herself a genius. She didn't seek applause, she sought beauty. Maryam Mirzakhani proved that even in the most rigid of sciences, there is room for grace. She didn't bend the rules, she bent space itself. He asked questions no one dared. Quiet, deliberate, uneasy in his own skin, but unshakable in his mind. In the cafes of Vienna, where intellect was worshipped, Gödel whispered something sacrilegious. Mathematics was thought to be complete, every truth provable, every question answerable. Gödel disagreed, and he proved that disagreement with mathematics itself. He showed that in every logical system, there are true statements that can't be proven. That certainty itself is an illusion. He didn't break math, he revealed its limits. He drifted deeper into abstraction, proved that time could loop, that universes could rotate endlessly. But outside the equations, his world unraveled. He feared poison, refused food. He died weighing just 65 pounds of starvation by choice. Gödel didn't seek fame, he sought truth. And in doing so, he found the boundary of knowability itself. Some minds shine a light, his cast a shadow. He read the riddle at 10 years old, a 350-year-old whisper from a ghost of mathematics. And something inside him answered. He didn't tell anyone, not his colleagues, not even his wife. For 7 years, he vanished into silence, and inside that silence he built. In 1993, he announced the proof to the world, and then it broke. One small crack in a mountain of logic, years of work collapsing in seconds. But he did not give up. 1 year later, he found the answer in a theory no one had expected. The two great rivers of modern math, elliptic curves and modular forms, suddenly met. Fermat's ghost was finally at peace. He did not cheer, he wept. Not for fame, for the weight finally lifted. Alone, in silence, he conquered a mountain that generations died climbing. No shortcuts, no tricks, just the quiet, unyielding faith that truth can be found. This was not a flash of genius, it was obsession, devotion, years in the dark. The last act of our story isn't about chaos or perfection. It's about perseverance. The kind that reshapes the world without ever asking to be seen. They never met, they never spoke. One died as another was born. Yet they reached for the same thing, a glimpse of the infinite through the lens of logic. This is not a timeline, this is not a lecture. This is beautiful chaos, the symphony of thought, where intuition duels precision, where silence births thunder, where proof becomes poetry. What happens when genius refuses to follow rules? Sometimes it rewrites them.